Good day, everyone. My name is Jeffrey Ablola from Pasay City, Philippines. My DX username is JA2506690Y. My GitHub is LilJeff192K, and this presentation is my final project for CS50's Introduction to Cybersecurity, recorded today, July 8, 2025. For this project, I chose to talk about a recent and highly relevant cybersecurity incident here in the Philippines, the January 2025 data breach involving the National Bureau of Investigation, or the NBI. We'll go through what happened, how it likely happened, its impact, and how it connects directly to what we have studied in this course, and especially about securing data and preserving privacy. In mid-January 2025, a cybersecurity blog reported that the NBI clearance system had been breached and over 45 million records were leaked. A hacker going by the name Zodiac Killer claimed responsibility and posted the stolen data online. These records included names, addresses, contact details, and even reasons people were applying for clearance. In this presentation, I'll summarize what happened, break down how it likely occurred, and its impact, especially how it connects to core cybersecurity topics we covered in CIS 50, like data protection, incident response, and vendor risk. To understand the weight of this incident, we need to know who the NBI is. The NBI, or National Bureau of Investigation, is the Philippines' top investigative agency, similar to the FBI in the United States. They investigate high-level crimes and also issue the well-known NBI clearance certificate. This certificate is required for many things: applying for jobs, travel visas, licenses, or legal documents. So the NBI maintains a large database of clearances applicants. This includes names, birth dates, addresses, and even biometric data. That makes their system a high-value target, not just for hackers looking to cause chaos, but also for criminals who trade personal information. On or around January 19, 2025, a hacker posted an archive of NBI data around 3.6 gigabytes, containing over 45 million records spanning from 2016 to 2024. The data included very detailed personal information like full names, street and cities, and addresses, phone numbers, emails, and transaction details. Even the reason for applying for clearance was exposed, which makes it even worse and personal. The hacker uploaded the files to a site called mega.nz, a public file sharing platform, and locked them with a password, but the damage was done. The NBI responded by saying that their core system were not breached and that the leak likely came from a third-party vendor handling the clearance applications. That statement shifts the focus to how data is handled, not just inside the NBI, but also by their partners. Let's briefly break down the technical side of this. Experts believe that this was not a highly advanced hack. The attacker likely used public tools or known vulnerabilities, possibly targeting an external system used by a third-party contractor. This vendor may have had a misconfigured database, weak access controls, or an exposed API. The hacker Zodiac Killer appears to be a script kiddie, not a professional hacker, not a professional hacker group or state actor or whatever. After gaining access, the attacker compressed the database and shared it online. The fact that the files were password protected doesn't reduce the risk. It only delays how fast people can extract the data. What's critical here is that the NBI entrusted sensitive data to a third party, and that's where the vulnerability was. The impact of this breach is huge. Over 45 million Filipinos had their clearance data potentially exposed. and that means full identity profiles are now floating around online. This data can be used for identity theft, fraud, targeted phishing, or attacks. Smart scammers can impersonate government agents or employers using real data from these victims. What makes it worse is that clearance records often include legal or personal reasons, making it a major privacy violation. This breach also deeply affected public trust. Even the NBI, a government law enforcement agency, can't protect its data. People may lose confidence in digital services. Experts even advise victims to change their contact information because of these possible SMS scams. That's how real and immediate the risks are. This case is directly connected to the what we have learned about securing data. In CS50, we discussed the CIA triad: confidentiality, integrity, and availability. In this breach, confidentiality was clearly broken. Sensitive personal data was made public. There were likely no encryption protocols in place on the vendor side and definitely a lack of access controls or monitoring. The case also shows the importance of defense in depth, multiple layers of protection that make it harder for attackers to get through. These are not just theoretical ideas. This breach shows what can happen when they're ignored. This also strongly connects to preserving privacy, another major topic in the course. The NBI or its vendor collected and stored a lot of data, maybe too much, and it wasn't properly secured. We learned in CS50 that organizations should follow data minimization, collecting only what's needed for as short as necessary. They should also have clear privacy policies, especially when partnering with outside vendors. As the data controller, NBI is still responsible for what happens to the data, even if a third party leaks it. That's part of ethical cybersecurity and part of legal compliance too. This breach shows how privacy is not just a legal issue, it's a trust issue. Here are the most important takeaways. First, encrypt sensitive data, especially when it's shared with a vendor. If the data had been encrypted or tokenized, it would have been harder to exploit. Second, enforce strict access control. Only authorized users should access clearance records, and that access should be logged and monitored. Third, audit vendors regularly. If you are handing data to someone else, you need to be sure they're following the same security standards. To close, the NBI data breach is a serious event that exposed millions of citizens' personal informations. It's a reminder that data security is not optional, especially for governmental systems. Everything we have learned in CS50, from encryption to vendor risk to privacy law, applies here. If the proper safeguard, if the proper safeguards were in place, this may have been prevented or at least minimized. I hope this project shows just how important it is for cybersecurity professionals to protect the data entrusted to them, because real people are always affected when it's the system fails. Thank you.